Well, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, I'm Kubra. I am from Big A, the 6th semester, and here I would like to present an explanation about the Age of Reason, which is the one of period or era in English literature history. Well, let's talking about the definition or the background first. So, the period that coincides roughly with the 18th century is known by various names: the Enlightenment, the Neoclassical Age, the Augustan Age, and the Age of Reason itself. Advancing the project of the Renaissance, it was a time that yearned to use logic or reason to raise history out of the darkness of superstition and establish a verifiable knowledge of the world. It is the age of the philosophy of John Locke and the science of Isaac Newton. And the Age of Reason emphasizes knowledge, control, personalism, discipline, rules, and appropriateness in life and literature. The Age of Reason or Enlightenment in England was an intellectual and literary movement also in Europe during the 17th to 19th centuries. The movement of the idea of rationalism relies on reason as the best guide for human beliefs and action. So the Age of Reason in England gives equal appreciation to experience and reason in the process when it comes to human condition. So one of John Locke's work, Essay Concerning Human Understanding, the 1690 was a verbally expressed image of the society during that period. One of the quotes shows that our business here is not to know all things, but those which concern our conduct. So last but not least, it was an era that heralded the scientific method. So as we will see, however, we will need to understand more than reason to understand the poetry of the era. Chance took the place of literature, beginning with the use of Greek or Roman models by Ben Jonson in the beginning of the 17th century. Love sonnets were substituted for satirical verses intended to work reforming the individual and society. And the closed or heroic couplet was widely introduced by John Dryden and later perfected by Alexander Pope. Literary periods such as the Tatler and the Spectator, both published by Richard Steele and Joseph Addison, was written in the purpose of educating the people. Maybe most renowned moralist and the best prose satirist during the Age of Reason was Jonathan Swift, and his satiric writing style lent itself to bringing forth the evils of society and the individual. And the modest proposal and Gulliver's Travels. Yeah, I think that we know Gulliver's Travels were two of Jonathan Swift writings, and one of the great writer at the Age of Reason during the later years of at the time was Samuel Johnson. So, for example, in this case, Alexander Pope, a premier English poet of the 18th century, wrote, I know how this agreeable is it to make use of hand words before a lady, but this so much the concern of a poet to have his work to understood, and particularly by your sex, it means the gender, that you must give me leave to explain 2 or 3 difficult terms. So once again, we see here how important is it for the poet that this poem not to be open for interpretation. He is afraid that the lady might not understand his great correctly, and this worries him. So he will condescend to give her the means by which she can better understand that what is going on in the poem. This is not all surprising, a little surprising in the Enlightenment, which was officially sexist and more importantly for our concerns. So devoted to the idea, the reason is primarily a means thought the humanity will lead and would lead itself out of the error and into truth. And if we live in this era with explain to reason not only about poems but also in poems. This is perhaps the biggest change in poetry that Renaissance of and to Enlightenment. The poetry was still thought as elevated language. You could still do all things in poetry. You could do in any kind of language, and there were still love poems and lyric poems and narrative poems. Poetry was still thought as a normal force, and then and poets were still thought of as artists. In fact, being an artist was even bigger at the time. And then a poetry was still expected to matter imitate matter. But in the 18th century, the poetry more aligned with the humanist project of understanding nature through the reason than it ever had been before. It come to believe that in the 18th century and nature was the best understood through reason, so poetry became more closely aligned to reason. So that doesn't mean that all the poems are conceived of making logical arguments, but when on establishing objective truth, the two main poles of the Enlightenment century debate can be characterized by the two words teach and delight. So I think that's all. Thank you so much, and bye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.